Hello everybody, Monica here at Handmade Bay. Here is a great project where you can take all your cards, for example, all these cards you got this holiday season. You know you have them sitting in a pile somewhere now because everything's getting packed away. But here's a way to take all your cards and make a little keepsake. Okay, and you can go ahead and put the year on here. You can make a fancy cover if you want. You can make little pockets and put little things in from the holidays, like maybe the wrapping paper from the gift you got, and you could add something here. These are blank, of course, just to show you the project, but how wonderful is this to keep this instead of just a pile of cards thrown around. Now, I did start one for, I found my Mother's Day cards and some birthday cards, so I started to do that. And you can do all different sizes. I chose to have these with the larger ones in the back, but I'm also left room to add more. So I'm going to keep working on this. So you can rearrange the cards any way you want. So that's it. And you can even think about doing, when you go on trips, get the postcards. And you could do the same thing and make a nice travel trip journal, which we are going to be doing one this year. So let's get started on this project. Alright, so you're going to cut the strips out for 3 inches, and then you're going to score them at 1 inch, every 1 inch, okay? And you're just going to accordion them like back in school. And that's how we're going to attach our cards together. And it's that easy, just back and forth. I would use something heavier for this. Heavier cardstock. Okay. So now what you want to do is take your cards, and you want to have enough hinges for the cards, and you can have extra, like I said. So these are all the same size, but you can do all different sizes together. Like on mine, with some of my Mother's Day cards, they're all different sizes, see? But what you have to do is just make the lines, the cut that you're going to make in here, even. So you want them all in the same spot. Okay, just like that. Okay, so how are we going to do that? You're going to take your cards and you're going to get them all together with how you want them sitting in sitting in your pile. Okay, then you're going to make sure they're all facing the same way. Then you're going to take a marker, something that will dry, because remember this is shiny, so something alcohol based. Get them all even. You're going to take your strip. I mean, 3 inches, what I found, works for most cards. It holds it well. So get that in the middle of where you want your cards to sit. You get it matched up here. Okay. You're going to just match it up. And what you're going to do is make a line here. Make a line here. And actually, you want to go a little bigger than the 3 inches, so it's easier to slide it in. Okay, so now you have your 2 locations where you're going to start cutting from and stopping. Okay, so we're going to take our card and keep them all in the order that you want them in, especially if they're different sizes. Okay, and if you don't care, then that's fine too. All right, so in here, I'm going to find my 2 dots. I got one there, and all the way down. And there's your opening. Okay, that's a little low, but that's okay. And what's going to happen is you're going to take your hinge, depending if you start with the back one, and you're going to leave this out because we want a hinge for a cover. If you want a cover, you may not want a cover, you can take it out after. So you're just going to take one of your folds, okay, and you're going to have it come through the other side. And that's going to be your first card. Okay, now you're going to keep doing this with your next ones. Okay, what I would do is cut them all first, and then you can, it goes pretty quick. So again, I'm going to cut it from our guide here. Then I'm going to take the next hinge, Now, I'm not gluing anything yet because you may have it all together and decide you want to change it around. So leave that as an option for you. And you can have this hinge anywhere you want on the card. You can have it higher, you can have it lower, you can have it wider if you want it all the way. But this works out well. Okay, and we're just going to keep going. All right, now that we got all the cards in, you can kind of get an idea of how this is going to work, okay? Now, most of your cards are going to have writing in them, okay? And so we don't want to cover up the writing. So like this one is writing here for me, right? So I'm only going to glue it on the blank side, all right? So you don't cover nothing here. And just the one side is enough. So we're going to open up. And I'm using tape. You could use glue. Glue is fine. Fabric glue I kind of like because then it won't warp your card, especially if it's a thin card. But with glue, you can go ahead and rearrange it, so that works well. So what you want to make sure is your card is all the way to the score line, okay, all the way to the fold before you glue it down. Okay, because we want to make sure it flips like a book. All right, so we want it to flip on the fold. Okay, and now we're going to take the next one to pull it in. Put your glue or tape. And we're just going to do this all the way through on each card. Okay, make sure this is even with this card. So you have to play around a little bit, but it gets easier once you do them. Let's just make sure it's even. Unless you don't care. If it's not even, then you're good to go. So those two are good. Okay. And now I'm just going to keep going with all my cards. Now remember, it does not have to be perfect. Okay. And then you can go ahead and continue to decorate it. You can keep adding cards as you find them. But this could be the cards for this year. Okay, and I'm going to do the next one. And I'm just going to keep going through. And here's our last card in the pile. Okay. And here you go. Now you've got all your cards. You can make a cover for this, and that's why you can leave this on here and make a cover, or use this as the cover. And you can decorate. You could add, 2024 on here, and then have all your cards in a nice little holder instead of thrown in your drawers, forgotten about. I just think this is really wonderful. You can also save. With mine, I saved the envelope my daughter gave me, and I'm still going to build on this because I have more cards, plenty more. So I'll just keep adding more of the hinges, and you can make it as large as you want it. There's no end to this. There's no limit. So I hope you like this. I'd love to see pictures. I hope it gave you a good idea for your wonderful memories from the holidays. Okay, and that'll do it for today. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to our YouTube, and come on over to Facebook and join our studio, where we have tons of tutorials and we get together and do swaps and have a good time. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.